Okay, so today we're at Odessa in York, and we're making a lost key for a 2012 Chevy Cruze without a key code. We're going to use this tool, which is called HU100, to remove the ignition cylinder without having to pick it. If you look at the piece of paper here, it'll tell you for Chevy Cruze 2011, use the HU100, the yellow end. So how we're going to do that is we're going to remove the cover to the ignition cylinder to access the retainer hole. And then we're going to insert the tool in there as the instructions said and remove the cylinder and get the key code. The retainer hole is on the top of the cylinder up here. So we need to remove the cover to access that hole. Okay, so to access the active retainer hole, we're going to pull this back, and you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, this is the yellow end, and we're going to stick the yellow end in the hole. My hand's going to get in the way of the picture for a second. Okay, and then we're just gonna, once we get that in the hole, we're gonna lift up, and the ignition cylinder is loose. I just gotta get it out now. This hole right here is the hole for the active retainer. Do you see that little hole? That right there, some people mistake that as the hole, but that's not the hole. Okay. So when you're taking these GM high security ignitions, the steering column apart, you're going to see this part right here. This arm that comes off of the assembly. If that arm comes off of the assembly to the side, like this one at about, I guess it was o'clock, it'd be the 9 o'clock position, then you're going to use the yellow end of your tool. If this arm comes off the top, like the very top of the thing, at say the 12 o'clock position, sticking up there like a shark's fin, then you're going to use the blue side of the tool. You know, like on the Camaro with the high security keyway. Okay, so we're going to take the yellow end, we're going to insert it in the hole with the tool. It's going to get underneath the cylinder, and the tool is pointing straight up and down, and we're going to lift up and we're going to try and find that retainer button. Sometimes it takes a little finagling, but that's it. Just hit it, and it comes out. So that is what I was hitting with the tool on the inside, and then you can look here and see the key code stamped right there. There it is. Okay. Now, if there is no key code stamped on there, you can use this key that comes with the tool. It's cut to all number ones. Insert it in the lock. Insert it. And then you can sight read. So with that key cut to all number ones in there, you can just sight read it. There's only 4 depths. Actually, I'm holding it backwards. Okay, on this lock cylinder, this ignition cylinder, it looks like the code is Z1146, but it's very faint. So what we're going to do is we're going to double check that with Instacode. So if we enter Z1146 in Instacode, it gives us this bidding, 422-31121. So with the key that came with the HU100, cut to all number ones, inserted into the lock, we can look at the cylinder. Get this stupid thing out of the way. we can look at the cylinder and see that this right here, this tumbler sticking up, if you look at the center of the that groove, it's sticking up above the shear line. Well, that tells me that is a number 4 wafer. Alright, so that kind of matches what's on Instacode. And then if you look at the next two, they look like 2s. The first one is a little bit lower than the shear line, the next one is a little bit higher than the shear line, so that kind of matches what Instacode says as well. Then the third, or the fourth one, it's sticking down lower than the number 2, so I would have to say that's a 3. And what we're going to do to verify that, to clarify that, we'll look at the back side of it. Now remember, the center of this groove on the 4 was sticking up a little bit past the shear line. This one is right at the shear line, so that tells me it's definitely a 3. You can see that center groove is at the shear line. That tells me it's a 3. Then the next two are 1s, because you can see that they're both at the shear line.